just want to ask first. It appears that Ducati problem is a little bit solved with the latest update. You know, GP14.2.
Yep.
Both Dovi and Iannone, I think the guys closed the gap with the Honda Yamaha. Can you tell me about the update? What is the main idea of the GP 14.2?
First of all, you know, we started this season with the GP14, and as you know, the bike was almost totally designed already by the end of last year when Mr. Dall'Igna joined Ducati Corse. So Gigi came on board at the beginning of November. At that time, obviously, it took for him some time to understand and learn a little bit about Ducati and the GP14 and what kind of technology was available in the company, but actually and luckily was very pleased with what he found at Ducati Corse, and he immediately started to intervene on the GP14 with some upgrades and changes on the bike. So we started the season obviously with some better results. We got a podium with Dovi in Austin, and we kept bringing some new improvements throughout the season. We brought different fairings, we brought new exhaust system, obviously we developed the software, but we came to a point when the bike had not any further possibility to try different setups because of engine and frame combination did not allow for any further possibility to try to move in a different way the engine, to try different center of gravity, etc., etc. So it was decided to make a further development of a GP14, which we call GP14.2. Basically, we redesigned a part of the engine in order to make the bike narrower. So if you can look at the bike, you see that there's a narrower shape on the tank and also narrow frame. So the ergonomics for the riders.
So the frame is
the frame is different. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we worked on the rear head of the bike. We made. I don't want to go too much into details, but we modified in a way that it could be accommodated in a narrower frame. And so obviously this has brought a better ergonomics of the bike, so the rider is more comfortable when riding the GP14.2, and he can move on the bike with more freedom than he would be able to do on the GP14. Also this frame engine combination give us also more room to try different setup that we could not try anymore with GP14. So it's, I would say, main is a lot of small and not so small changes on the GP14 that we could carried over also on the GP14.2, and what you can see is, let's say, in general, better ergonomics. And if a rider can move more freely on the bike, he's also able to ride in a different style. And also, as I said, additional possibility to try different setup. Yes. And this is the last update of the GP14, because obviously at the same time we are working on the GP15. GP15 is going to be a brand new bike with a brand new engine. So
brand new engine,
yes,
brand new chassis, I think.
Frame? Yeah.
I hear from the guys, I mean, Dovi, he said even with the GP14.2, they still have a understeer problem with the bike.
Yeah, you know, the problem is probably a little bit improved, but still there. But as you could see, we were in the last 3-4 races, even with the GP14, I think we were able to close the gap to the leaders and be fighting close to the podium, you know, and also reduce the gap to less than 10 seconds from the winner. So I think the GP14 itself still retaining the problem of the understeering has been improved. Also, on the other side, the riders have been adapting a little bit their riding style to the features of the characteristics of the bike, and they know that you need to ride the GP14 in a slightly different way from more conventional bikes. So, but I think the bike has proven to be very fast on a single lap, so we were basically qualifying in the second position throughout the last few races. Still in the race is not so easy, but as you could see in Misano, and where Dovi was fighting with Pedrosa until the finish line, and even races before, we are closing the gap. Still the understeering is there, but is not as bad as it was at the beginning of the season.
If I can a conclusion about the GP14, is it Ducati more focused on the rideability rather than the performance of the engine? Is it right?
Not really. Honestly, we're working 360 degrees. So we always looking for better performances on the engine, and obviously also we are working on improving significantly the software. At the same time, obviously we know that there is a problem which is very obvious, the understeering, and which is preventing the riders from being able to ride the bike in an easier way, so putting less physical effort in their riding, and we're working also on that. So I don't say we are concentrating on one thing or on the other thing, because we have resources which are fully concentrated on the chassis, and also resources who are fully concentrated on engine and on the electronics. So I know it looks like maybe we try to do too many things together, but in the end it's Ducati Corse is about over 100 people. It's not as big as maybe Japanese race departments, but still we have people who can concentrate on their own tasks and bring improvements in any area together.
Okay, we talk about next year, 2015. I don't know if there's any plan of Ducati to sold and to or lend the bike for the open class.
Yes, if you can see that Avintia Racing has already one bike for Hector Barbera from Aragon. It's a GP14 with open software, and he will finish the season.
And without the seamless gearbox?
It has a seamless gearbox. It's a full GP14 with seamless gearbox. The only difference from it's a software. So we have a contract with them for next year, so they will race two riders. They have two riders entering the championship with GP14 open. So, but the bike is fully GP14 spec, including the seamless gearbox.
Okay, for the next
season. Also now, but also for next season. Yes. And obviously we will continue with Pramac Racing, with more than...
any other team who interests?
Well, first of all, we don't have any capacity to supply more, because obviously it's bringing a lot of parts and logistics and engine rebuilding that we need to do at the factory. So we will not have a capacity to do more. I think 6 Ducati is already a good number, and I think also for the organizer is good, because you only have 22 entries. So if you have 6 is already enough, I would say.
Okay. Suzuki and Aprillia will join next year.
Yes.
What do you think about this phenomenon? The phenomenon about the Suzuki and Aprillia?
No, well, we are very pleased that there are more manufacturers involved in the championship. Obviously, Suzuki we know since quite some time, because they announced the program I think last year, and we've already been testing. Aprilia is already in the series with the ART, and now they will come with a direct involvement. I think it can only be beneficial for the championship to have more manufacturers directly involved, and in the end, MotoGP is showcase for manufacturers to show their technical capability, but is also a show and for the spectators. So I think the more variety of brands and riders are on the grid, hopefully on a very competitive level, then I think the better is the show and the more value this championship has for all the stakeholders involved.
What do you think about the performance of the Dovizioso and Iannone itself until this day? I think.
You mean here in Motegi or so far?
So far.
Well, Dovizioso is doing a great job. I think he's probably in the best form ever of his career. He is very fast, extremely fast. He's very consistent, and he makes very few mistakes. And he's also a very good, he has a very good communication on the technical side, very precise with our engineers. So he is giving a very precise feedback. He's very precise himself as a person, so he's trying to explain in the best possible way and get the feedback from the engineers. So I think he has proven to be one of the fastest riders in MotoGP, according to our opinion. Iannone is a younger rider. He is only at his second season in MotoGP. He had his rookie season last year with Ducati, but last year was very difficult season for Ducati because we were not competitive. And also for Andrea Iannone was the first season, so he had to learn, and he had also some injuries. So, but this year is proved to be very fast, very competitive, very hard fighter, and we are very pleased to have both of the Andreas in the factory team next year. I think they are a very good combination. Very different characters, but both of them very fast and very competitive, and I think we will have a very competitive team in the series in 2015, hopefully with a very competitive bike, the GP15.
How about the work of Mr. Gigi? Luigi?
Yeah.
What do you think about it so far?
He's my boss, so I can only say it. No, I'm joking. I was really hoping last year that Gigi would accept the offer from Ducati, because I know Gigi since many years. Before joining Ducati back in 2013, I was managing the World Superbike Championship for 6 years, and Gigi was my counterpart, representing Aprilia, so we had the chance to meet many times. I had the possibility to really get to know him quite well, and he's a very strong technical leader. He has very clear ideas, and also he has a big ambition, because obviously he has been winning 125, 250, he has been winning Superbike, but never in MotoGP. So for him, it's really a motivation for his career to be able to get to winning in MotoGP. It's also the same target for Ducati. Obviously, we were winning in MotoGP until 2010, winning races, winning a championship in 2007, as you well remember. So we want to be back. Audi wants Ducati to be back in the winning circle. And as I said, Gigi is one of a few people in the world, I would say, that has such a wide knowledge, experience of racing, and such a strong technical background. And I think he's just the right person to lead Ducati Corse for, as a general manager and especially as a technical director. Okay. Okay. It was my pleasure. Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao. Prego. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're gonna steal it.
Yeah.
I need a tripod. And the camera. Okay. Thanks, Paolo.
Ciao.